Where have you been? I've missed you guys. So welcome back to my videos, and we're gonna go to Cannes Film Festival today. It has been crazy times the last few weeks. I really didn't have that much time as usual, but we did have a great time in Cannes. And as you know, we love shoes in this channel, so these babies are worth every penny. These are not my usual style, you know, I prefer my stilettos, but these shoes were priceless for Cannes Film Festival because this year I actually walked even more than usual. Usually how it goes is I would go like up to 5-6 kilometers a day, running from one screening room to another, to interviews, back home to work, and then of course to occasional party. And this year the weather was really chilly. The first week we had a lot of rain and it was quite cold. And also a lot of venues where we actually went to for like networking and brunches and parties were on the beach, hence this worked like a charm. Every year the Cannes Film Festival for me starts with a traffic jam. If you've ever driven into Cannes, you will know that the last few kilometers when you kind of go downhill towards the center of the Cannes is always packed. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Usually it will take you like half an hour to 45 minutes to get into actual Cannes, and because for me at that time I have been already driving for like 10 hours, this is the worst part. But at least once I park, I'm there for 2 weeks, so I'm happy. So the opening party, I was posting a lot of stories on my Instagram because I didn't have time to actually edit a full video, so I hope you managed to see some of them. But the opening party was cool as usual. I had to actually wear this outfit because it was, like I mentioned before, pretty chilly. I think it was like 15-16 degrees, which is not the usual weather for Cannes. So I had to kind of make what, you know, with what I had with me, because all the dresses I took for the occasional party were actually for hot weather. So I've seen all the competition films and it was a really good lineup this year. You know, I'm crazy about films. I always talk about them, but mostly for my work, for my radio work. So I'm not gonna go into details here on YouTube unless you want to hear more about films. Comment below, I'm more than happy to respond. But my favorite film of this competition is without a doubt Wim Wenders' Perfect Days. I love that film so much. I can't wait for you to see it in cinemas. I've managed to pick some souvenirs. This is way back in the 80s, Tom Cruise with his first wife, Mimi Rogers, who allegedly is responsible to bring him into Scientology. So, you know, she has a lot to answer for. So I'm going to show you a bit of the venue here, because the places I'm showing you here is for press only. So you cannot see that. If you go to Cannes during film festival, you need to be accredited member of the press pack, and then you can walk in these places here. What else to tell you? Well, we had some crazy parties and I tried to kind of combine my outfits, given that I sit in cinemas and walk back and forth from my flat to the Palais where the, you know, festival is going on a lot every day. It needs to be comfortable as well. And I already talked about this because usually when you see on YouTube Cannes Film Festival, it's by influencers who get there by being sponsored, or like big brands, or they get, you know, their own team, and they have like a, you know, hairdressers, makeup stylist, you know, they dress them, then they walk the red carpet, and that's it. So this is a very different experience if you go to Cannes Film Festival as a journalist, because obviously I am there as many others to watch films and talk about films, but because you cannot just work, of course we go to occasional parties. Food is definitely on top of the list in Cannes because we don't usually get a lot of it. There's just no time to have proper lunches or dinners, but occasionally we would go to like a nice brunch, or we would have like a nice dinner within our group. And this is this one restaurant, La Roche, I think it's pronounced. We love this restaurant. I mean, it's always packed, but you know, if you wait a while you can actually get a table, because during film festival it's quite difficult to book a table in advance because it's so busy. They usually wouldn't even pick up the phone that you can reserve a table. So, you know, if you're going to be there during the festival, keep in mind you're going to have to wait in line and wait for the table to be free. But it's definitely worth it, and their desserts are just to die for. Price wise, I was surprised. Most of the main dishes kind of stayed in the same price region as last year, but they've really hiked up the prices of dessert. So check the list before you order, so you're not going to be surprised when you realize that like one little muffin is like 16 euros. And I was like, are you for real? But you know, I already ordered it, so I didn't want to be rude and send it back. So I had it, but it was a bit crazy. One of the things that I already posted on my Instagram stories as well is the press dinner. Now, this is a pretty exclusive thing. There's only like a handful of journalists who are invited to this dinner. I'm gonna show you a few photos of the food we had. It was really good food and it's a very nice setting, but more than that I cannot tell you. Let's talk stars for a while. Apart from Robert De Niro, I've seen all of them before, so it's like a second or third time I kind of interacted with them, either through press conference or through some of the parties. And Robert De Niro was the first time I saw him in person, and I was really happy because he is exactly like we wish him to be. As is Harrison Ford. I mean, he is exactly like you think he will be in real life. He's very sweet. He has this excellent dry humor that I really love, and he's very engaging. I mean, the press conference was just hilarious. He was joking the whole time. There were some crazy moments as well. I mean, this was just happening during the first week. I have to mention here that it was around 13 degrees. I mean, if you look at the people standing down below from the balcony, you could see that most of them are in jackets. So, you know, those girls, well done. How can you be in underwear and swimsuits in this weather? But, you know, it's Cannes. Things like this happen all the time. And finally, I have been going to Cannes Film Festival for like 12 years now, I think. And this was the first time I actually managed to go to one of the islands. This is Island Margarita, and we had like 3 hours off. That was it. But the boat takes like 15 to 20 minutes to get there, so we still had like a good hour. And on this island, apart from lovely beaches, which I didn't, you know, go swimming because I only had 3 hours and, you know, I just wanted to see the island. There's like a fort, and apparently the legend about the man in the iron mask, you probably remember the film with Leonardo DiCaprio in the 90s about it. It's like some sort of a legend that he was a twin brother of one of the French kings, and he was like prisoner, hidden behind the mask so nobody could recognize him, that he looks exactly like the king. Apparently this fort on this island is where this legend comes from, like he was imprisoned here. So I find that very interesting. I didn't know that before. And this island is lovely. I mean, obviously for swimming and, you know, sunbathing, but, you know, even just to walk around, it was quite lovely. And another important information, usually on the islands, it doesn't matter where in the world you are, things are always more expensive on the islands because, you know, it's an island, but not here. I mean, coffee, sandwiches, little snacks, exactly the same price as in Cannes. So there's no need to take a lot of food with you to go to the island because it's the same price there. Cannes for me is without a doubt the highlight of my year. I mean, I enjoy Venice Film Festival too, but Cannes is just on another level. We finished the night with fireworks, and this is where I'm gonna leave you too. I hope you had fun with me in Cannes Film Festival. And good news for the end, my wardrobe room is now done. I actually have the island ready. I have to fill it with things. I still need to put the glass on. So hopefully this will be my next video, how I kind of organize things around my wardrobe room. In case you're thinking of building your own or organize your closet, you might pick up some ideas there. So wherever you are, have a lovely day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.